So in this video I'm going to show how to solve a two-step equation with integer coefficients. So here we can see that we have a two-step equation. We have integers -4 as the coefficient of a, and this -9 or -9. So let's always look at the side of the equation that contains the variable to see what to do. So we'll look over here. We'll use the additive inverse of -9 to get rid of this -9. So we'll add 9, and we'll do it to both sides. So here this says -4a minus 9 plus 9. Now we can add -9 and +9, which adds up to 0. So now we have -4a plus 0, which is just -4a. And then we have to do whatever calculation we have on the other side here. So 47 plus 9 is 56. So now our equation is 56 equals -4a, or -4 times a. So we do the inverse of multiplying by -4a, which would be dividing by -4a. So we'll divide both sides by -4. So now if you notice, now the coefficient of a here is -4 divided by -4, or 1. So this is now 1 times a. I'm going to show it that way here. 1 times a, which of course is just a. So we can see that we have solved our equation. We have a equals on one side of the equation. So then we just have to do this division correctly, and we'll have our solution, the value of a. So 56 divided by 4, -4. Let's check we get the correct sign. Positive divided by negative is negative. And 56 divided by 4 is 14. So we get -14. So a is -14. So that's our solution. I'll show you here. We can check the solution. Oops, move that down a little bit. We can check the solution by substituting that value in. So if we take our equation here, 47 equals -4 times a, but in place of a, we plug in the value of a, which is -14. And then we just do these calculations. -4 times -14, negative times negative is positive. Gives us positive 56. And 56 minus 9 is 47. So we can see that we have the same value on both sides of the equal sign. So this solution made this equation true. So it's a solution. So again, just real quick, always look to the side that contains the variable. If you only have a variable on one side, look for something being added or subtracted, and do the additive inverse of that number, the opposite. So we had -9 here, we'll do +9. Then we had times -4, we do divide by -4, and that'll get us our solution. Make sure you do the same operation, same number to both sides. Great. Let's do one more example. So notice in this example, we have x divided by 6. So this time, instead of having multiplying, we're dividing with the x. But either way, we'll start by getting rid of this -6. So remember, always look for what to do on the side that contains the variable, if you have a variable on only one side. So here we have -6 or -6. So the additive inverse would be +6. So we should do +6, or add 6 to both sides. I'll zoom in just a little bit there. There we go. So -6 plus 6, of course, is 0. These are additive inverses, and that was our intention. So now I have x over 6 plus 0. That just leaves me with x over 6, or x divided by 6. And on this side, I have -5 plus 6. So these have different signs, so we subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number, or the number with the greatest absolute value, positive. So this is positive. Now we're ready for our final step. So I have x divided by 6 equals 1. So the inverse of dividing by 6 is to multiply by 6. So we'll multiply by 6 on both sides. And if it's helpful for you to think about this as fractions here for this multiplication, then you can do that just to see, how this really works out. 6 times x, 6x. 1 times 6 is 6. And again, we have 6 over 6. We have 1 times x. So we have our solution on the other side here, because as soon as we get 1 times x, we know we just have x. And that means whatever number ends up here is our solution. And this was 1 times 6 is 6. So our solution is 6. Zoom out a little bit there. There we go. So again, we had x divided by 6. We multiplied by 6. We always do it to both sides. 1 times 6 is 6. These 6's cancel, right? 6 over 6 is 1. 1 times x is x. If we want to check our results, we can do that. It's always good to check your solution. So now instead of x over 6, right, so I'll plug the 6 in place of x. This used to be x over 6, now it's 6 over 6. 6 over 6 is 1. And 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number, or the number with the greatest absolute value. So we can see that this gives us a true result. Therefore, 6 is the solution. We checked it. It's confirmed. So that's how you solve two-step equations when we have integers as the coefficients of our, I guess it's not really an integer. We would think of that as a fraction, but there you go.